Most people save whatever is left over at the end of the month. The problem is, there is almost never anything left over. Pay yourself first flips that completely. Your savings move automatically before you ever get a chance to spend the money. In this video, we are going to walk through exactly how to set up Pay Yourself First, not as a vague concept, but as a concrete working system with real accounts and real timing. Let's start from zero. Most people operate on what you could call the leftover model. Money comes in, bills get paid, spending happens, and then, if anything survives, some of it goes into savings. Sounds logical, but human psychology destroys this model every single time. Spending expands to fill whatever is available. There is always one more thing to buy, one more bill that crept up, one more night out. The leftover never comes. Pay Yourself First reverses the sequence entirely. The moment money arrives in your account, a fixed portion is redirected to savings before anything else touches it. You never see it sitting in your checking account. You never make a decision about it. It just disappears into a separate place automatically. Think of it like a toll booth that sits between your paycheck and your spending. Every dollar that enters has to pay a toll first. That toll is your savings. Only what remains after the toll gets spent. The mechanical trick here is that your brain adjusts to whatever it sees available. If your checking account shows $800 instead of $1,000, you will naturally spend around $800. You adapt down without even realizing it. That psychological quirk is the entire engine that makes this system work. Before you touch any automation settings, you need the right accounts in place. Think of this as laying the pipes before you turn on the water. You need two distinct buckets to start. Bucket 1 is your spending checking account. This is where your paycheck lands and where your bills and daily expenses come from. Bucket 2 is a separate savings account, and the word separate is doing a lot of work here. This should ideally be at a completely different bank than your checking account. Not a different account at the same bank, a different institution. Here is why that matters. When savings live inside the same app as your checking account, moving money back is frictionless. One tap, and it is done. Friction is your friend. When your savings account is at a separate bank, transferring money back requires logging into a different app, initiating a transfer, and waiting 1 to 3 business days for it to clear. That small inconvenience is intentional. It gives your brain time to cool down and reconsider. Most of the time, you will not bother. For the savings account itself, look for a high-yield savings account, commonly abbreviated HYSA. These are typically offered by online banks, and as of recent years, they have paid meaningfully more interest than traditional brick-and-mortar bank accounts. The mechanics are simple. The bank pays you a percentage of your balance each month just for keeping money there. It is not investing. Your principal does not go up and down. It is just a better place to park cash than a standard account paying near zero. So your structure looks like this. Paycheck arrives at checking account, a fixed amount transfers automatically to the separate high-yield savings account, and you spend only what remains in checking. That is the whole architecture. Now for the actual mechanics of how to set up Pay Yourself First in practice. The goal is to make the transfer happen without any decision on your part after the initial setup. Step 1. Know your pay schedule. Are you paid weekly, bi-weekly, meaning every 2 weeks, or twice a month on fixed dates? This matters because your automatic savings transfer needs to be scheduled to fire 1 to 2 days after each paycheck lands, not before. If the transfer goes out before your paycheck clears, you will overdraft. Timing is everything here. Step 2. Log into your high-yield savings account. Most online savings accounts have a feature called recurring or scheduled transfers. You will link your checking account to your savings account. This usually involves entering your checking account and routing number, and the bank may make 2 small test deposits to verify ownership, which takes a day or 2. Step 3. Set the recurring transfer. You will choose the amount, the frequency, and the start date. Set the date to land consistently 1 to 2 business days after your paycheck hits. If you are paid on the 1st and 15th of every month, your transfer might be set for the 3rd and 17th. This automatic savings transfer is the core of the entire system. Once it runs, You do not have to think about it again. Step 4. Choose your amount. A common starting point in personal finance education is 10% of take-home pay, but the specific number matters far less than the fact that it is fixed and automatic. If 10% feels impossible right now, start with 2% or even a flat $20 per paycheck. The habit of automating is more important than the initial size. You can increase the amount later by logging in and updating the transfer, a 2-minute task you might do once or twice a year as your income grows. Step 5. Set up bill payments from checking to auto-pay on their due dates. Now your checking account has one job: receive money, release the savings total immediately, and cover bills and spending with whatever is left. No manual sorting, no willpower required. No system runs perfectly forever, and it helps to know in advance what can go wrong so you are not caught off guard. The most common problem is a timing mismatch. Your paycheck is delayed, or it lands a day late, and the savings transfer goes out before the funds clear, triggering an overdraft fee. The fix is to build a small buffer in your checking account, often called a float, of roughly 1 to 2 weeks of expenses. That buffer absorbs any timing hiccups without breaking the system. Think of it as a shock absorber, not money available to spend. The second problem is a genuinely tight month: an unexpected car repair, a medical bill, a higher utility payment. Your savings automation setup is not a locked vault. You can log into your savings account and transfer money back to checking when a real emergency arises. That is what emergency funds are for. The goal is not to make the money unreachable forever. It is to make spending it on non-emergencies require deliberate effort. The third problem is lifestyle pressure. You set up the automation, and then a few months later, you find yourself constantly feeling broke, and you lower the transfer amount or turn it off. This is worth pausing on. Before turning it off, look at your actual spending data. Most banks show this categorized now. And identify where the friction is really coming from. Sometimes the savings amount genuinely needs adjustment, but often spending in other categories has quietly expanded, and the automation is simply revealing a mismatch that was always there. Let's bring this all together. Pay yourself first is not a mindset poster or a motivational idea. It is a plumbing problem. You set up 2 accounts at separate banks, you schedule an automatic transfer to fire the moment your paycheck lands, and you let the system run without relying on willpower or memory. The spending that happens afterward is just whatever is left in checking, and your brain will adapt to that number naturally. The most important insight from all of this is not the account type or the transfer amount. It is the sequence. Savings first, then spending. That one change in order, made automatic so you never have to choose it in the moment, is what separates people who build savings gradually from people who plan to save and never quite do. If this walkthrough was useful to you, hitting the like button helps this channel reach other beginners who are looking for exactly this kind of step-by-step breakdown. And if you want more mechanics-first explanations of how money actually works, no fluff, no hype, subscribing means you will see the next one when it comes out.